It's Week 9 of the National Football League, and all eyes on the versatile Isaiah Simmons. He put up numbers last week with a 9-tackle performance. It's the Falcons and the Vikings, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We are all set to go, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in right at 500, looking to get that win to bump them back above 500.
This game means a lot to them because of what you just talked about. When you can bump yourself over 500, it's a lot of optimism in your building as you move forward in the season.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Now it's Wilson, the return man Wilson. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Opening play, and Stroud will throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Stroud now on 2nd down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. And Stroud now to throw. That is caught. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
And defensively here, it's hard to overlook the fact that this is an offense that's dead last in the NFL in rushing. So this back 7's going to be tested. Heck, might be more of a back 8. No doubt about that. And they surrender the catch here and the 1st down.
Check.
First carry of the game now for the Texas superstar, Bijan Robinson. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Stroud. And his throw is incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Graham. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So here the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. And they'll be led out by a former first-rounder in his 4th year now out of Utah State, Jordan Love.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
Ready.
On 1st and 10, Love. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 2.
Go. Set,
Love, they go play action now. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Love. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Again, it's Love. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Black swap. Set, go.
They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. The numbers for Walker last week. 17 carries, 71 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And a solid run down inside the 30. The keeper there good for about 9, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and inches.
Ready.
They'll try for the first with Walker. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Here we go. Ready.
Trying the left side with Walker. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming. We're scoreless after 1. Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Switch. Yellow. Set.
Throwing. Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, that's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Drill green. Hut.
To pass. Here's Jordan Love. Touchdown, Falcons! Kenneth Walker, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From his end zone, Wilson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
And they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Samuel. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
Ready.
Stroud to throw it. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Following the interception, Love. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
On the ready. Blue check. Opposite. Green. Yellow. Lining.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. It's a gain of 16. 1st down, Falcons.
That's what love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy.
Okay, ready? Check pitch.
Here's Walker. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Field black.
2nd down, Love. Throw out wide to Walker. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Set. Ready.
Love looking to throw it. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra deep.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a gain of a couple there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. Play action. Here's Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stroud looking to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. That's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Romeo Doubs from 13 yards out. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie, because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Kenneth Walker headed back out there.
The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Yellow, line, check white.
Now Love. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Play fake. Here's Love. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard paces,
and a big loss here as he's taken down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, they've got the lead, but it's certainly not a big one. And how do you keep control of that lead? Certainly not by that last play there. They gave up a big sack on the first play of this drive. Now it's double the distance to the first down marker.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Final play of the half. Stroud. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Falcons are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, and they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And at the half, they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Najee Harris
over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou to check on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And that one all tied.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They'll throw again. Here's Love on 2nd and 10. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Love with it here, 3rd and short yardage. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Black swap. Switch. Yellow.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. 2nd and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A give left side to Robinson. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback on the expected pass.
They intercept Stroud again, the 3rd time in this game. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Ready.
First down, going to the air with Love. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
Okay, right. Blue striker. Cut.
Working out of the gun. Love. He completes this to Walker.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. 2nd and 9.
Set.
Love now.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And the ball comes out. Love lost it. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Following the fumble recovery, Stroud. And this is incomplete.
When the ball's tipped in the air and falls incomplete, sometimes it's almost insignificant, but not in this game because 3 interceptions have already been thrown. So when this one got tipped in the air, you just had to wonder, could this be the 4th? Instead, it falls incomplete, and the guys on offense breathe a sigh of relief.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Here we go. Start. Ready.
And Stroud now to throw.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Isaiah Simmons drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down.
He saw the pressure and he got out, but he never got upfield. And the defense, they took full advantage of a rookie mistake there. They were able to add a big loss on the sack.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing. Love.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
79 Broncos.
Now Stroud. Pass complete there to Nakua. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Stroud. He finds his man, complete. It's Hudson. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go now.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
The throwing again is Stroud. He finds his man, complete. It's Hudson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. He was brought down by Sean Murphy-Bunting. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Robinson with another carry. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
It's a gain of 10. 1st down, Vikings. That's the end of the
So the scoring dried up here in the 3rd. Nothing that quarter for either side. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Meanwhile, Stroud's throw finds its target, Dobbs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Ready, set.
2nd and 6.
Check. No. On lock right. Up, check. Panther.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he had.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Bijan Robinson with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Throw here's incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
On 2nd down, Love once more. That is taken in by Hurst. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And that was
good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Love will try with his legs. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Ready, set. Ready?
Jordan Love ready on 1st down here. And he'll find Akins there, complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Check white. Check pink. Black swap.
Love going to keep it on the option. And they'll get him down right around the 16. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Come on.
Love. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the 1st down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking 1st down before he caught that football.
You got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a 1st down.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by a field goal. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Here comes 2nd down. Stroud to throw it. Pass complete, Samuel.
That gets them the 1st down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Stroud to throw it.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Stroud. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Here's 2nd down. Now Stroud. That's out wide here for Robinson. The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Stroud. That is caught. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 15-yard line. On the give, here's Robinson.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dime. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Jakeem Grant now to return. This is Jakeem Grant. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the third drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
First throw in overtime for Love.
Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson.
It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Here's Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Falcons first down, at least at first glance, as they spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 30 inches. To throw now. Here's Love. Open man is Samuel. Complete. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on second down. Option play, and they'll give to Walker. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, here's Walker. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Just looking down at this with a naked eye, looks like they have about 1.5 yards. Any chance they go for it here?
There's a chance, but I have to say, punt the ball here. Get rid of this thing and try and help your defense a little bit. I know there's that temptation, and I know people have it on their play sheet. I have that one play that'll get me what I need, but if you don't get it, you pretty much handed the game to the other team.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. First throw of overtime, Stroud. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Just straight money right there. The biggest drive of the game, a chance to win it in overtime. If they've been saving that play, they sure pulled it out at the right time. A huge turn of events there.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT.
Next score wins, but remember, this will be a tie if the period ends with no scoring as they work on 2nd down.
The throw over the middle, taken in.
Partner, it's a pretty good drive they're putting together, and I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all, because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely, that would write an ending to this script. To see what happens. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
So that's it. No double overtime until the playoffs roll around, so that means this one ends in a tie.
Yeah, that's ultimately unsatisfying for both teams, the fan bases. Heck, for us.
True.
We came here to see a winner, right?
We did.
Winner and a loser. We didn't get it. We end up with a tie. Everyone walks away. A little bit cranky on this one.
Man.
Yeah.
M-E-H, man. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.